Okay, this is the second or third attempt at making this video. I don't even remember anymore. It has been so many times. And I'm still not happy with it. So, the name is Bartholomew. Spelled like this. Because yes, I am supposed to be funny. You'll find out soon enough that I'm not. And basically, this whole thing that I am trying to do is a big, well, I would say inspiration, but it's basically a ripoff of better videos like this. You have seen some of them. Some like this, or this, or this, or this, or this. Point is, I have been meaning to start making this video, well, months before. I've started making the video in December, and I've been meaning to start making it since November. Yay for me! But to get the whole thing straight, basically what I want to do is make a, well, I was gonna say weekly series, but it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be more of a episodic series, let's say. A process of how I go ahead and document my journey through the game. Even though right now it's kind of dead. Yeah. It's not that easy to play the game when your friends are busy and when your whole country is under lockdown. So, no locals here. Yeah, that kind of kills the motivation, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. But here's the thing. I've been meaning to start making videos and improve and whatnot, and also improve at the game and other areas. I am making this whole channel thingy. Yay. So what's the first episode gonna be about? Because that's basically the whole thing. While this is going to be a series focusing on my journey through the game, it's not gonna be a sealed only. And unlike other people have done similar kind of videos, I will not be focusing on a specific deck throughout the entirety of the series. The whole idea is that this thing will last for about a year. That's what I want. It's mostly an experiment. I want to do this whole thing for 3 reasons. Number 1, get the whole YouTube thing out of the way. Number 2, test a bunch of decks that I want to play for a long time now. And 3, improve my editing skills. That's it. This is the main idea behind this whole channel. Oh, again. And I guess you could probably count me getting better at the game, but that's not really gonna happen anytime soon, I think. So, for the very first episode, I have decided to build Salamangreats. I have messed around with the deck, and when I last stopped the making of this video, the deck had reached a point where it was basically a Violet Chimera Turbo. Or not even Turbo, more like Control. Yeah, it was a weird thing. I was running Super Poly and stuff like that. But, because I will be joining the tournament today, I made a few changes to the deck last night. And now the deck looks like, well, something different. I'll show you right away. But before I show you the deck, first I have to actually put it together. Because, unfortunately, a lot of stuff that I have ordered has yet to arrive. I still do not have a 3rd Parallel Exceed, I do not have a Prohibit Snake, and sad, just sad. But I am getting ahead of myself. First, let's leave this bad boy. I've got like half an hour before the tournament starts. So let me just show you what I'm running for today's tournament. And you can laugh at my bad choices that I decided to call interesting and unique and, you know, all that jazz. So let's start with the basics. I run I think a pretty standard package. For salmon grades. The only notable difference from what you can obviously see is the inclusion of mole instead of foul. And that is because I was originally playing foul alongside all that stuff, but it didn't arrive in the mail. Or, correction, I never ordered one. I was so certain that I had it that I never ordered one. That's one of the most annoying things with cheap quote-unquote decks. A lot of times you just forget that you do not have the stuff that you think that you have. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the monsters. I really like Maul because of his special summon. He can easily substitute for Foul, plus he has a better graveyard effect, in my opinion. The only problem is that he doesn't help with rank 4 plays, but whatever, I am more oriented towards links either way. So that's pretty much it for the monsters, for solid monsters at least. Now let's move on to the spell and traps for salads. I am obviously playing the 2 Sanctuary, 1 Circle, let's just put them in frame, 2 Wheel, and the standard trap lineup of 2 Rage and 2 Roar. Arguably, the only thing that needs explaining is the double Sanctuary, and I am just playing 2 because it is a very important field spell for the deck, and playing just one of it, with not just Desires, but also back row removal, I don't see any reason to play just one. So yeah, it's just about me making sure that I have the field spell, because it's just necessary, especially considering one of my win conditions. So that's it for the salad spell and traps. Now, moving on to the Cyverse/Extender package. Let's start with the normal summons. First of all, 2 Lady Debug. Yes, I know this is kind of weird, but I have come to realize that I don't want to waste my normal summon on Debug a lot of times. Yeah, she's good, but the chances of her being ashed are way too high, and I don't like that. And I don't know, I'm not really sure I want to play 3 of. Oh, we'll see about that, I might change it around. But for now, instead of a triple Ladybug, I am playing 1 Corruptor Ibli in her place, as another Cyberse normal summon, let's say. Why the one-off? Well, because the other 2 have not arrived in the mail yet. Yeah, I know, it's a weird deck overall. You can just laugh at my interesting choices, but whatever. I don't know if I like one or more, we will see. And after that, we obviously have the 2 Parallel Exceed. Yes, 2. Because once again, the 3rd one has yet to arrive in the mail. It is so stupid that I do not have a 3rd Parallel Exceed. It's a freaking common, and it costs nothing. It costs €1, but whatever. And because I found myself liking in extenders a lot of times, I have decided to play 2 Backup Secretary as well. And to spice things up even more, I am running the 1 Crusadia Reclusia, yes. Why would I run Reclusia, you say? Well, when I was making the deck before, I found myself often needing extenders, specifically fire ones, to make my Salmon Great Links. And Reclusia came to mind because I wanted to run Mathmex, but I do not own a single Mathmech card, and once again, they have yet to arrive in the mail. So I decided for Reclusia because it helps for 2 things. Number 1, it's a level 3. Allows me to do rank 3 plays. along with Secretary. And at the absolute worst, I can use Recluse's effect when it's summoned to just destroy one of my opponent's cards. But hey, it's, again, techie one-off, but whatever. That's the thing anyway. And that's it for the Cybers/Extenders. Now let's just go with the spell package. Obviously the 3 Signet Minings, the 3 Desires, and the 1 Foolish. I decided to run 1 Foolish, yes. We'll see how useful it will actually be. I think it helps, but hey, I didn't originally have it in the deck. We'll see, I might switch it for another powerful one of, like Raigeki or something. And then to round up the deck, we'll focus on the interruptions, let's say. Number 1, and most importantly, the Ash Blossoms. I don't think I need to explain this, it's a salad deck. The synergy is absurd, plus Ash is, well, Ash. No need to explain that. Then I am running 2 Draw and Lock and 2 Ghost Bell. Here's the thing, I haven't really been able to use these cards much, and I know that these cards are getting more prevalent right now. I was originally running Ghost Ogre instead of Ghost Bell, but a friend was like, I don't know about Ghost Ogre, and I was already on the fence about that, but hey, might as well try out Ghost Bell. Why 2 ups and not 3 ups? Honestly, these are just the ratios that I saw being played around for other salad decks. 3 Ash and 2 of other hand traps, with the more powerful hand traps, or more generic ones, being a 3 of in the side. So we'll see how useful that will be. I have literally no idea what I'm gonna face today. I expect a very weird combination of meta and non-meta, so we'll see how good this package is. And to round off our 42 card deck with my last quote-unquote disruption card, 2 Mystic? Yeah, no. 2 double twin... 2 Twin Twisters to play around Mystic Mine, because I am pretty damn certain I'm gonna face Mystic Mine at some point, and yeah, it's kind of necessary. I'm considering changing these to Cosmic Cyclones, because that's what I was originally playing either way, but I want to test out Twin Twisters today, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's it for the main. Now let's go for the extra real quick. First, the obvious starters: 3 Balinks, 1 Almirage, because it is very good replacement for Balinks a lot of times. It can just turn your break a handful of hand traps and backup secretaries and reclusias or whatever into a standard Salman Great board, whatever that is. And then I'm playing 2 Wolf. Why 2 Wolf? I often find myself not needing a 3rd one, even though I know for a fact that after today I will regret this, but yeah, it's just what it is, man. We'll see how important this will be later. So, first win con of the deck, Pyrophoenix. Hence why I said before that Sanctuary is necessary for this deck. And it's not even a win con, let's say, it's just a power play. I am hoping this will be good, because considering the fact that I do not have access to access code, because it's yikes, its price is just a massive yikes, I am betting on this motherfucker to win me games. Hopefully, maybe, we'll see. During deck building, I found myself a lot of times saying, man, I have to remove Pyrophoenix to fit the more generic cards in the extra deck, because the space in Salaman Grades is exceptionally tight for the extra deck. And I couldn't do it, man. At least for this tournament, I want to make sure I use this bad boy and, well, maybe win a game, I don't know. The point is, I love this card and I want to use it. After today I might remove it, but hey, gotta get it out of my system first. And now for the generic Cybers package, we got the 1 Splash Mage, the Update Jammer, the Transcode, and in the place of access code, 1 Avramax. And to round off our extra deck, with the Exceed package. First of all, the Parallel Exceed plays Baguska and a Beast Dweller. Hopefully they turn up, we'll see. And for the rank 3 plays, slash our second out to Nibiru, is number 75, Bamboozling Gothic Shadow. Through testing, I've managed to make this a lot of times before the 5th summon, but not always. And at worst case scenario, it can be just a negate for your opponent's turn. Negate, interruption, let's say. But I don't know, I am really curious to see how this one will perform today. Now that we're done with the extra deck, let's talk about the side real quick. It's pretty simple, to be honest. I am running 3 Lancia, because I don't want to lose to Dinos today. I am not really happy about the possibility of that. Finally, 3 Nibiru. I didn't have 3 Nibiru up until recently, when I decided to bite the bullet and buy these two for, I don't know, what was it, €7 each? That's a little expensive for what I usually buy. I hate buying cards that are too expensive, let's say. This is a whole discussion on its own, but I finally have 3 Nibiru and I'm so happy about that, so I'm gonna use him. We have the triple Dark Ruler no more, because this thing just, it helps break boards, simple as that. Simple as that. Because I know for a fact that I have a very high possibility of facing stuff like that. I have 3-dimensional barriers, because it's good against a bunch of stuff. If I face virtual worlds, it can negate their Xyz and their synchros. If I face, I don't know, Infernobles, it can negate the synchros. If I face any fusion deck, this can be a free turn. It's too good for me not to run. I love this card, and I'm so happy I get to play it again. And to finish it off, I am running 2 Rivalry of Warlords, because it can work in this deck. And for the last card, because I forgot earlier, the 1 Pankratops for going second. Generally the whole side is built with the logic of going second, but hey, yeah, almost all of that is for going second, just everything. Also, something I'd like to point out, I am trying something new this time. I used these sleeves, which I had used for my Monarch deck years before, and now I put on another sleeve on top of that, as you can see here. I want to see if this will actually make the Konami sleeves playable again, because they tear way too easily. And I really want to use these sleeves because they're pretty beautiful. Pretty beautiful? Very beautiful. Anyway, that's it for the deck. Oh, last important part. Whenever you're making a new deck, you have to decide on 2 very important accessories. Number 1, Field Center. For today, I'm using this gorgeous thing. Now that I am on the Digimon TCG hype train, this is just mandatory, let's say. And next are the tokens. Here, let me present you my Photon Cerberus token, and this is the only fire-related token that I can find. It's not even my best work, but hey, it works and it's beautiful. So there, we have 2 tokens ready for anything. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck. Now I have like 10 minutes before the tournament starts, so let's get ready. I realized that I never actually explained anything about the tournament. I just went right into it. So here's a brief explanation. I am in a Discord server, and every week they have a tournament. This week it was a 12-man tournament, and we were fighting for a Blazing Vortex booster box. Yeah, that was a cool one. Enough of this, let's go into the game so you can get what I'm talking about. Let's start with game 1. First of all, I of course lose the dice roll, because it wouldn't be a match if I didn't do that. And he gets to play first. He starts off by summoning Whiptail, then going into Trident, setting 4 and passing. Yo, is this Revs? Should I expect the punishment? Now, it is my turn, and if I remember correctly, I opened with Lady, Jaguar, and Twin, and I don't remember anything else. I shoot Twin Twister, targeting 2 of his back row, and I am facing Eldritch. Great. Not only have I never faced Eldritch, I have never faced Zoo, I have never faced Zoo Eldritch, and overall I have just no idea what the hell my opponent is gonna do. Aside from the fact that Trident pops and he can just summon the Golden Boy from his grave, I have no idea what to expect from this deck. Thankfully my opponent was kind enough to explain to me what the hell was going on. So Pakera would summon himself, and then Sanguine would allow him to summon Eldritch from the deck. And not only that, he gets to banish my Jaguar from grave, so no plays for me. At the very least I cleared Torrential, but not sure how that would help. I Desires, attempting to get anything. I summon a Debug, which gets popped by Trident, and I get to search. I take a Jaguar to hand in an attempt to replace the one that was lost, because I couldn't really summon any other monster to begin with. No matter which I added, it wouldn't special summon himself, so no plays for me, like I said. And thus, I pass. On his turn, he uses Trident to summon a Chakanine, use her effect to bring back the Trident, then link the Golden Boy and Chakanine into Nightmare Phoenix, and then use everything to make Access Code. Then banish Sanguine to set another trap, bring back Golden Boy, and then normal a Ram, which he turns into a Tiger Mortar and attacks for game. Swift game 1. On to game 2. Alright, game 2. Let's get started. For game 2, I obviously went first and drew into a Foxy, Ash, Bell, Wheel, and Warlords. I went ahead and summoned the Foxy, excavating for a Bell, a Lady, and an Ash. So that didn't go well. I link into Balinks, searching a Sanctuary. I use Wheel to summon back Foxy, go into Wolf, and then reincarnate him. I set the Warlords and I pass. The guy starts with a Tenki, which I go ahead and Ash. I didn't realize he would already have a Zodiac in hand. Oops. So he gets rid of Ram and he draws one, and then he activates Eldland. So he gets the big boy, he sends him with the Sanguine to grave, and just like that my wolf gets sent to the graveyard. And then he just goes ahead and makes Zeus, which I later found out after the match, if I had Jade Rivalry, I could have prevented that. Guess who's an idiot? Me! Yeah, and that's pretty much game, because after that I can't do anything. I've got absolutely nothing. And not only that, I think I just drew into a second Sanctuary, and yeah, I literally have no plays. It's game over, man. Just game over. Game 2 ended up being against Virtual World. Another meta deck that I had no idea how it plays. I opened with an Ash, a Lady Debug, a Crusadia, a Rage, and a Roar. I managed to go first. I summoned Debug, added Gazelle, and he chained Droland Lock. So, no more searching for me. I went ahead and linked Lady Debug for Balinks, and Balinks for another Balinks, and then special summoned Gazelle with its effect. He used its effect to dump absolutely nothing because he ashed me. I then special summoned Reclusia and went into number 17, Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, in an attempt to have an interruption. Then I set Rage and Roar and passed. So that's one of the best boards I could end up in a first turn. I have two traps, one for negation, one for destruction, Gossip Shadow for interruption, and an Ash in hand, so that will be very helpful. He goes ahead and activates the gate that banishes. I don't remember exactly its name. I'll never learn the names of the virtual worlds, they're so convoluted. No, I just suck at naming. So he goes ahead and summons Kirin. I didn't Ash it because I thought that I could Ash something bigger after that. He sent Nyan, I believe, to grave, and then he sent the trap card. He tried to go for the Lao play, but I asked him, and he couldn't do anything about that. So he just set one and passed. I was really surprised by that. I did not expect that. And in the end phase, I chained Rage to destroy Kirin, clear his board. Then it was my turn. So I drew into a Parallel Exceed. I went ahead and linked summoned a wolf and used Parallel Exceed's effect. With my two effects now, I get a Parallel Exceed on the field and an Ash in hand. Then I make Dweller and attack for 3500. My opponent draws and scoops. Holy shit, first win, guys! Woohoo! On to game 2. Since in the second game I was certain that I was gonna have to go second, I removed one Rage, one Roar, one Nibbly, one Desire, one Sanctuary, and one Droll. I don't know why I removed just one Droll. the deck doesn't really search, it just sends to the grave and then banishes. Kinda like salads. Huh. And I put in Nibiru, Ruler, and Pancratops to have for going second. And I drew into an Ash, an Exceed, one Mole, one Jack, and one Falco. My opponent starts by sending the gate that banishes to the grave. He then banishes to special summon a Lulu. Then he banishes it to send a Nyanyan. He desires, and overall he just goes off. I try to ash him, but he gammas me, and he just goes off from there. He has the Drap, he has the summons, he just specials, and ends on double VFD, just like that. Just like any good virtual world player. Gotta say, I can't wait for VFD to be banned and for this deck to actually play. I'm really interested in picking this up after witnessing how it plays. I wanna try it out. So on my turn, he obviously goes ahead and activates the effect of BFD, making all my fires useless, but I still had one hope, so I went into Bailings and special summoned Parallel Exceed in an attempt to make Baguska and negate his plays, but he got rid of it with the trap card, if I remember correctly. So no survival, just none whatsoever. The best thing I can do after that is use the wheel that I drew to special summon Jaguar and try to save myself. Not that it matters, he just goes into Vermilion, Gossip Shadow, and other stuff, and he attacks me for game. On to game 3. So, for game 3, I removed all of the going second cards, added Gladiates, if I remember correctly, and drew into a Jack Jaguar, a Cynic Mining, a Parallel Exceed, one Falco, one Desire. I go ahead and use Mining, dumping Jack to add the Gazelle, use Gazelle's effect to special summon itself. That, of course, gets ashed. Then, with that out of the way, I go ahead and use Desires. I draw a Secretary and a Jack Jaguar, and then I realized that I banished my my Parallel Exceed. So, my only chance, which was to make Baguska, just got destroyed. I had no other way to make any rank 4 plays in this turn, so yeah, I lost, just like that. Parallel Exceed can still activate its effect though and summon itself as a level 4 without needing to summon the other one from the deck, so I just went ahead and did that, did some plays, and made Baguska with it and Jack Jaguar. And after that we realized that we have like 5 minutes. So my opponent just has to go really fast to beat me. And he does just that. Spoiler alert. He just uses the gate to negate Baguska's effect, which I had no idea that it can do. And after that it was free real estate, man. He just summoned everything and destroyed me. Not only did he deal enough damage to beat me, but to make sure that I wouldn't play, he just made another VFD. Because that's what Virtual World does. VFD. Oh well, it was an interesting match, and I got a win, so on to the next one. Alright, now we're on the third match, which is against Drytron, another pretty cool deck, which I had no idea how it plays, and I am really curious to see how that will go. So, my opponent starts with Prep, grabs Benten, tributes her for Alpha, I believe, adds another Benten, adds another Herald of Orange Light, he goes for Cyber Emergency to add another Drytron to his hand, and he summons it. I believe this one is Zeta, and because of Benten he grabs Senju, or is it Manju? I think it's Manju. He normals Manju, and he gets to add, and he adds Herald of Ultimateness. Oh boy, this is gonna hurt. Goes into Union Carrier, and then he equips Dawn Knight. Oh, excuse me? I am just at a loss of words. This is one of those monsters that I just really like, and I was certain it would see play at some point. I just didn't expect it like this. Amazing. So he goes into that, and he goes ahead and activates the ritual spell, and he summons Benten. Wow, this ritual spell is really generic. Either way, he ends up on Ultimateness and Masquerena. And for those who don't know, Ultimateness can negate anything, not just activation, he can also negate summons. And my hand is literally 1 Twin Twister, 1 Wheel, and only Salamangreat monsters. So I can do nothing. He just has infinite negates right now, so I decided to just withhold some information to maybe give me some chances to win next turn, and I just scoop up, straight up. Not one of my favorite things to do, but if it helps me win at least one game, sure, why not? I added Warlords and Barriers, and remove 1 Secretary, 1 Roar, 2 Twins, and 1 Reclusia. And I obviously went first, and yeah, I ended up with 1 Mine, 1 Lady Debug, 1 Mole, and 2 Parallel Exceeds in hand. Nice. I went ahead and summoned Lady Debug, which gets ashed, obviously. That's her job, I guess. Then I go ahead and use Cynet Mining, dumping Mole to add Gazelle, Special Gazelle, mill Jaguar, link into Balinks, and go ahead and special one Parallel Exceed while adding Sanctuary to hand. Then I go into Wolf, then I use the effect of Jaguar, shuffling back Wolf to special it, and after some thinking I go into Baguska, which in retrospect it might have been better if I went into Dweller, but at the moment I thought even if I summon Dweller he'll just attack over it, and that's game. So I really don't know how much searchability the Drytron deck truly has. I just witnessed the combo version, so I don't know. And of course he opens prep. He goes through a bunch of plays I still do not fully understand, but I want to eventually. He summons Anima, which sucks up my Wolf. He then gets a Manju on the field, and he links into Cerberus, unexpected play. He uses it by dumping Ultimateness to try and destroy Baguska. Well, I say try, he destroys Baguska. And he pokes me for 16. And that's it. He just finishes his turn by adding one Benten to hand. I draw Falco for my turn and I normal summon it. Go into Balinks again, search Sanctuary again, and special Parallel Exceed again. And then I link them to go into Splash Mage. Time for some plays, boys. I special summon the Gazelle that I still had in hand, use its effect to send Spinny to grave, then special Spinny back by its effect, then go into Gossip Shadow to disrupt any possible negation, maybe. Then use Jaguar, returning Wolf, but he attempts to activate Herald of Orange Light, but I chain with Gossip Shadow. Then I activate the effect of Splash Mage to bring back Sunlight Wolf. Then activate Wheel and my opponent just scoops. And that's it for game 2. Yay, second win of the day. Amazing. Alright, game 3. It all comes down to this. I go ahead and draw and I have Ash, Secretary, Jack, Wheel and Foolish. And my opponent starts off by activating Cyber Emergency, which I probably should have ashed. Yeah, I should have ashed that. I don't know why I didn't. I thought I could ash something later. I don't understand what. And I ended up using the ash on Benten, which is not bad, I just don't know if it was actually worth it. Because after that he can just use prep and go off. He once again makes the Union Carrier Dawn Knight combo. He activates the field spell. And he summons another Benten by tributing the Union Carrier, and then he summons another Drytron from the deck, and he adds Ultimateness, and he summons Ultimateness, and he just ends on a board of Ultimateness and Linked Kuriboh. Interesting. But considering the fact that we were close to time, that wasn't a bad idea at all. Now it's my turn, and for another time in these games I draw another Salomon Great in my hand. Another Salomon Great which does nothing, and it will not help me. God damn it. Well, I try to play at least, and I activate Foolish by sending Spinny to grave. Then I normal Jaguar, Special Secretary, link her into Balinks, use its effect to add Sanctuary, then use Spinny to special it from the grave, link Balinks and Jaguar for Sunlight Wolf, a summon which gets negated, obviously. Then I activate Will, which unfortunately cannot summon back my Wolf. I try to use the effect, but he chains Orange Light, and yeah. I really have no plays after that. I'm just done. I am stuck with a useless Jaguar in hand and the Sanctuary. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I pass it over to him, he starts going off, he does his little Milano impression right there, and special summons Natasha, which is actually busted. I did not even expect that. I had completely forgotten this card existed. Man, Drytrons are so cool because they get to use all these cool ritual cards and fairies and... I kinda wanna make the deck now. Wonder how expensive it is. Oh. Never mind. And just to add the ultimate salt to the wound, my opponent finishes me off with access code. The one thing that I will just not commit to buying. That was a disaster. We'll talk about it tomorrow, because it's late, I am tired, even though I am hyper awake, but I need to sleep, so we'll talk about it tomorrow. Enjoy my hand in the corner. Yay. Right now it is actually 2 days after the tournament. I did not record anything yesterday. I was editing the video. I am not gonna lie, I am pretty disappointed by our results. I was expecting to at least get a win. An actual win. Instead, I only won some games, which is a good start, but it's not enough. I wasn't gonna win either way, so nothing lost, nothing gained. So yeah, everything that could go wrong went wrong. Kind of, sort of, maybe. The last time I went to this tournament, it was a lot more mixed than this time. Just so I can give you a better understanding. The last time I entered this tournament, I faced Mermails, Satellar Knights, Prank Kids, and another good / meta deck. I don't remember what it was, but it was something normal. So, as you can see, it was a very mixed bag last time. So I expected something similar this time. Well, I ended up facing only meta. Like, just meta, nothing else. Just what are the 3 meta decks that are being played right now, and I have no idea how they actually play? Boom, take them. Just take them. Yeah, amazing. Amazing. Anyway, so what did we learn from all of this? Number 1, I am eagerly awaiting for the stuff that I need to arrive in the mail, because I have a bunch of placeholder cards in here that I need to remove because they ended up not being useful at all throughout these 6 games. Which means that I will be definitely removing Ibli and at least one secretary because she was completely useless. Granted, it would have been a lot more easier for me to understand what I need to actually change in the deck if I had drawn anything that I needed. I bricked so hard that it's so annoying. How do you even brick with such a deck? I don't understand, man. I really don't. Point is, I'll be definitely increasing the hand traps. Draw is a 3-off. End of story. I am not... No, I'm not keeping draw at 2. I need it at 3 right now. It's sad, but... what can you do? And I'll be definitely removing at least some of the extenders to make room for something else. I'll see how I'll shape the deck around. And the most important change that I realized is that I need a second fire token. Yes, I do not have one. And yes, this is actually important. Shut up. Also, another thing I realized, I am kind of interested in playing Drytrons or Virtual World. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Oh no, I'm not. Definitely not. But I am. But I'm not. But I am. Another thing I realized is that I really have to start playtesting other decks. I'll probably incorporate this in the next episode, whenever it comes out, of me testing a bunch of the meta decks so I can better understand them and face them better. Simple as that. Because besides the fact that I actually like most of these meta decks, I have no idea how to play them, and I would like to. And it will also help me to actually take a game for a change. Let's finish this by doing some goal setting, shall we? So basically, the whole point of the series, as I said earlier, is for me to get better at the game, playtest a bunch of decks that I want, and make videos and other stuff like that. But there need to be some actual goals within the episodes to make it interesting. So I will start with the most realistic one at first, which is to get first place at locals. It will not happen soon enough, so that's a pretty big goal already. Plus, yeah, I don't expect regionals to happen anytime soon. And to those of you who will be joining me again in future videos, welcome on board, and hope you enjoy the ride. Because I know I will attempt to, considering the chaos that is my life right now. Oh, what have I done? Anyway, see y'all next time. Y'all? Y'all? What do you think you are, you